Hey everybody, how's it going? Noba here. Today we're going to be talking about time, okay? And stay with me, I think you're going to want to hear this one because you're going to get an insight into my perspective on the value of time. Whiteboard pop. Boom. Okay, so for my message to the past today that I'm going to be delivering to myself, I want to target 1 year ago, like 365 days ago, Noba. Okay, I think that that's perfect. 365 days ago, Noba, I'm wondering, right? I'm wondering, where was I? What was I doing? What was happening? And I was thinking about it. And I realized that the thing I was most afraid of was time passing, okay? It was like, I want to do this, and this, but it'll take too much time. And so this message I want to be sent back to me. And again, it's one sentence only. And I want it to be like a remedy to that concept of being afraid of time. Okay. And the most important thing that I think it really is important for this conversation is when talking about time, we create an expectation for the future. And I said we, but particularly me, because, I don't know other people like that, right? Maybe I've seen people do that, but in my life particularly, creating an expectation for what the future should look like has not worked very well, because I'm not omniscient. So when I look at the future, I think of this is what it should look like. And this is more of a past thinking. Now I'm a lot more open, right? And I think that's the key. And I think that, again, we use the word open a lot. Open. We use the word open here, but it's true, right? Open to possibility, right? So open to whatever could happen. I don't know, right? And just staying flexible and able to go with the flow. Because I found that if I tried to force things to happen, that wouldn't work out very well. So if I wanted it to work well, I had to stay open to new things and new possibilities. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I wonder right now, looking at 1 year ago, because there's going to be a little bit less clarity in this MTP6, right, than the previous ones. Because this is 1 year ago Noba that I want to remedy. Before we were doing 17-year-old Noba or something, right? Young Noba. But this is if I could send a message to myself a year ago, right? And understand it. And again, I'm loving this. And this is still in process, right? This one I'm not perfect with this yet. Where I'm at right now is I do a little bit of future thinking, and then I catastrophize, right? Where I find myself, here's what the future's going to look like, and here's what could go wrong. And then I focus on that. A year ago, it was much worse though. So it's be open to possibility. And it's I don't want to say expect great things, right? That's the opposite of being open to possibility. It's more of a find the greatness in whatever situation arises, right? It's something like this, where I'm open to the possibility of the future, and then I find the greatness in whatever happens, right? I've heard a lot of people sort of love neutrality. They treat this if something bad happens, well, stay neutral. If something good happens, well, stay neutral, right? I play a little different, okay? Me, I'm a little different than that. I spin it towards a positive light, right? I can always find, no matter what catastrophe, no matter what thing is happening, I can find positive things in that and lessons, right? And this is how I'm successful. This is how it's got me so far, right? When something, quote, bad happens to someone else, to me, that's good, right? I can make it good no matter what. There's nothing I can't make good. The biggest disasters, right? There are things that it doesn't need to be all bad. There's nothing that needs to be all bad, right? And it's really challenging because sometimes, you know, it's like we go to like, okay, well, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to me? And you're like, you're going to tell me that there's goodness in that, right? But what we don't see is that those are the things that have made you who you are today, right? The darkest places that you've walked have had some of the biggest impacts on who you are. And if you've ever met someone who has never really experienced any darkness in their life, you can kind of tell, right? They almost feel a little bit disconnected sometimes. And it's like, and it's like a disparaged thing, and it's all comparison, right? So it doesn't really work well. But if you're someone who has lived in a really, really, really oppressive life, and then you meet somebody who has lived a really, really, really laid back life, there's almost like a barrier that's put up immediately. And any darkness that they have, it's almost like they're more... It's interesting because you could look at it from one person's perspective and be like, okay, I'm more down to earth than this person. Then you flip it the other side and it's like, okay, well, this person is just super scarred, right? And super traumatized. So there's like, those are two perspectives on it. And both are really valid. Where it can be powerful is this, what I'm writing here. Being open to the possibility to find the greatness in whatever situation arises, no matter what, right? Even like financial destitution, it might seem terrible, but it's like you're learning to work harder for what you need, right? Like there are good things that can come out of bad things always. So then I think that rather than this, I think I want to write something like to Noble 1 year ago is find the opportunity. No. It's when you see opportunity, right? When it's there, you found it. Grasp onto the English. What's a good word? Grasp onto the, it's like greatness, right? But I don't know if greatness is a good word. Grasp onto the, it's like the light. Grasp onto the light. That's pretty hilarious. But it's kind of true, right? Like, it's like finding the light in the darkness, right? Lights up the whole room, you know? So it's like, when you see opportunity, grasp onto the light and don't... It's like, I want to say, here's what I want to say, and don't mull over the dark, okay? So great, like, let's say great example, right? You get a job offer in a different state and it's like amazing. It's great. Everything's going well. However, you got to move to a different state. So person A may be like, okay, well, they're paying me way more money. I'll move to a different state for that. And then they go, and then it's like, and then it works, right? They make it work. They're like, this is great or whatever. Because like their motivation's money in this situation, whatever, right? Person B is like, okay, I want that money. I'm going to go. And they're like, oh my gosh, this new state, it's just, there's too many bad things. You know, I can't, you know, I don't have any friends. It's like my family's gone, da 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 da, ba 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 ba, da 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 da. By the way, as an American, I'm using the example of going to a new state. If you're a European, that's like going to a different country. It's the same thing, okay? Just pretend like I'm saying country if you're European. So here's the thing, right? Both of the people in that situation, they sort of had a similar thing, but they tackled it differently. Also, this video is getting long quick, by the way. I'm just yappa-in. But this is really important to me. And like I said, it's a little bit less clear because this is more of a recent MTP. And so, either person, right, they sort of face challenges. But if person A can grasp onto the light aspect of what they're facing, and person B, if they're focusing on the dark parts of what they're facing, I think person A is going to come out ahead of person B, right? I think person A is going to find more success in life and more fulfillment in life than person B. The challenge is actually having the mindset to be person A. That's not easy. That's not intuitive. And that's where something like a guidance coach can really come in, right? Because getting that mindset takes work. You're not going to naturally just have it, right? And this is where I was a year ago, right? It's like, I can see my opportunity, then I see it, then it's like I focus on the dark aspects, right? And it's like, okay, here are going to be the challenges. And then if I just sit and I think on that, right? The lightness and the good part of it, right? The reason I'd want to do it was kind of getting put in the back of my head. So yeah, I mean, this video's gone on long enough. This is probably the longest MTP so far. However, I think this is spectacular, you know. I think that this really sums up the message I want to imprint into Passnova's head. When you see opportunity, grasp onto the light and don't mull over the dark, right? I think I might change the word mull. Don't think over the dark, or don't, it's like, don't spare your thoughts over the dark, right? I think we're just going to keep mull. I think mull is good. What does mull mean? Okay. Next episode, we're going to get a dictionary and we're going to get a thesaurus, and we're going to grind with a dictionary and a thesaurus, because like I'm telling you guys, I need a dictionary and a thesaurus for this one sentence challenge. But I think this is pretty good. When you see opportunity, grasp onto the light and don't mull over the dark. Yeah, I think this nails it. You know, I think that's a really powerful thing. And this is an MTP that I'm going to be taking with me. I might even write this down, right? Because like, this is what I still need. I still need this to this day. So this is like a message to the present. Oh, it's still an MTP. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for coming. Have a good one. Bye. Thank you everybody for coming. Have a good one. Bye.